Welcome back to Access Channel Comics. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Arrow this past week, what happened on the Arrow episode. I'm really getting into some big talks about Arrow's television show because this is a new frontier for Arrow as a television show in the DC television universe. As we all know, Arrow is that show that really kicked off the new DC television shows at a time when Smallville had ended. In a couple of years, Arrow came around. It was that new cream of the crop, and it did fairly well. Arguably, a second season to a lot of people was his best season, but of course, as I said before, the third season and fourth season to a lot of people kind of lacked. And hey, it happens with some shows after a certain amount of time, where some show seasons are terrific, some are good, some are meh. But Arrow is a show that's definitely coming back up. Wanted to talk about this particular episode, which was a very good episode. As we all know, Chad L. Coleman, formerly Tyrese of The Walking Dead, was back on the episode as Church. Pretty much one of the bads of this season, but not the biggest bad. We definitely know the big bad also appeared in this episode, which we'll talk about in just a few. But anyway, from last week, we know he had Wild Dog, pretty much held hostage and everything, held as a prisoner, as a sense. And, Oliver, the Green Arrow, got the team together to, get him back. The breakdown of this episode, it was a very great episode. And we saw another extension of the DC universe. And this time it was reached out by Diggle. Dig informed Oliver that he had a friend with a special skill set. And lo and behold, this special friend was known as the Human Target. Now, a lot of you DC fans may most certainly know, and diehard combo fans, who the Human Target is. Very well-known property in the DC universe. There was a television show a couple of years ago on Fox, The Human Target, that debuted in 2010 that starred Mark Valley. And that television show was based off the Human Target that was basically the second Human Target, Christopher Chance. The same Christopher Chance who basically was portrayed in this episode by Will Travel. He was portrayed in this episode. He's the second Human Target, created by Len Wein and Carmine Infantino, which debuted in Action Comics number 419 back in December of 1972. However, there was an original Human Target before that, back in Detective Comics number 201, back in November of 1953. So the Human Target has a long history. That Human Target was created by Edmund Hamilton and Sheldon Mondoff. But Christopher Chance is more of the most popular of the Human Targets, kind of like what Hal Jordan is to the Green Lantern and what Barry Allen is to the Flash. And as you see, he is a master of disguises, in a sense, to a lot of you who may not know what you see what Tom Cruise does in the Mission Impossible movies, with the disguises and everything as Ethan. But the Human Target is one of my favorite characters, so it was very enjoyable to see him on this episode. And he basically gets hired in to do certain things, like even to take a bullet for someone, not necessarily to get killed off, but to make it look that way. You remember Church figured out, he was informed by Wild Dog. Wild Dog was under that influence that Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow. So basically what happened was Church got this idea. He kills off Oliver Queen, the mayor. He kills off the Green Arrow. And it did look like that. Now, some of you may have been thinking like, hey, Arrow probably had on the bulletproof vest. He's that smart. He would definitely cover up, even out in public like that. But it wound up not being Oliver after all. Oliver was in the quiver the whole time. I know sometimes it's called Arrow Cave, but I think the quiver sounds way much cooler. But he was at the quiver, and you see in the back another Oliver Queen appears, taking out the mask. It is the Human Target, Christopher Chance. Christopher Chance is in a way of another mixture of like a James Bond or someone like that, or Born Supremacy. Interesting character. That's what I like about superheroes, and most certainly with DC Comics. It's not all about comic book characters dressing in tights or fitted costumes or spandex or body armor. Some of these guys dress in different types of styles and do special missions, such as a James Bond or Born Supremacy, and the Human Target just is that guy. But moving forward, Another thing, just to get into the episode, the big bad did show up again, and that is Prometheus. Prometheus is a very terrifying, interesting character. And we've seen in the next preview, it's just like Ragman told Oliver. Prometheus is saying the Green Arrow is the serial killer. So I do feel like this is back predating, and it's also something in connection with Oliver's former list from season 1. Who do you think Prometheus is? Many people are speculating that it could be Tommy. That is a pretty interesting guess. The actor who played Tommy is on another show, if I'm not mistaken, Chicago Med. Correct me if I'm wrong, put your comments at the bottom, which is on NBC. He's been having kind of a tight schedule. I come to the assumption also that could be a very good choice. That would be mind-blowing. But also, what if it's Felicity's new boyfriend? He seems to have popped in a few episodes here and there, and mainly when Prometheus shows up, we don't know really a lot about him. So that'll be interesting. It just makes me wonder, who is Prometheus? I really do like the moniker of he's like a reverse Green Arrow. So what do you guys think? Who is Prometheus? What do you think about this latest episode about Arrow featuring the human target? It was a very good episode. Look very forward to knowing what you think. Put your comments at the bottom. Click that subscribe button. Follow on Facebook and Twitter at the links. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, at Access Channel Comics, there are many. There are few, but there are none like you. Peace.